Today we're out in Los Angeles taking our first look at Slate, the company that wants to sell you a blank slate and then help you make it anything but, because that same blank slate turned into this. And this now starts at $24,950. It's the first time we've gotten official pricing, and you don't have to wait too long, Q4 of 2026. Reservations are open right now, and there are a few other things that have changed along the line. So let me tell you what we found out today and what's most important to you if you want to order one of these. In case this is the first you're hearing about Slate Auto, it's a vehicle that rolls off the assembly line in one configuration. It's a two-door, two-seat pickup truck that comes with rear-wheel drive only and is nearly infinitely customizable. But one of the customizations that has changed since this vehicle was first announced is going to be the battery, because the battery chemistry has changed to an LFP battery, and also the size has gone up. Where it was supposed to come in at 150 miles of driving range, it's now going to come in at 205. That's a 37% increase, all included in that just under $25,000 starting price. But they have also eliminated the larger battery option, which means 240 miles that was originally announced is no more, at least for now. Could it change in the future? Yes, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So for folks who wanted the smaller battery, just know you're going to get more mileage out of what you thought you were ordering. For folks who were waiting on that bigger one, though, that might come as a bit of a disappointment. And because we're changing battery chemistries, we're getting some of the pros and cons of an LFP battery. It's one that doesn't mind being charged up nearly as much, so smaller range EVs do benefit a little bit more, but it also isn't quite as energy dense or pushes quite as much power, which means the 150 kilowatts the rear motor was rated at is now down to 135 kilowatts, which puts this under 200 horsepower. However, the torque number remains the same, and for folks who did want to use this for any sort of light truck duty, torque is always going to be the number that's probably more important. There also may have been some changes to the charging speed, again, based on that battery chemistry, where it was originally quoted at 120 kilowatts. It now seems on the spec sheet that we have that it's going to be rated for 90 kilowatts on the 20 to 80% mark. That could be them being a little bit conservative, trying to get a more realistic number. However, it also might mean that the peak charge rate has also dropped, which would put it well below just about every other EV on the market. With power numbers out of the way, let's talk about what you do and don't get in this total package. What you do get is a vehicle that is about 5 inches longer than something like a Chevy Bolt, but also comes in about 16 inches shorter than that of the Ford Maverick, which is the smallest truck you can buy in the United States today, while it does still maintain a larger bed than you get in the Maverick, and also basically equal to something like you get in a much larger Rivian R1T. Besides having a somewhat unique two-door truck layout, you'll also get unique body paneling, because these are composite panels designed to be wrapped. And of course, if you want to change the color from the slate gray, I know, leaning heavily into the slate puns, you can do so with a wrap that'll cost starting in at $495 for their basic wrap, which is cut to order, so it's not just an enormous roll of film. And of course, you can have it professionally installed or installed by yourself. If you want a radio, that is an option. This will come from the factory with no stereo unit of any kind. And even what you do get is basically going to be a Bluetooth unit. You can buy one from Slate for $250. And if you want to add additional speakers off to the side, that'll be up to $400 total. You won't find any screen in here that is touchscreen except for the one you bring yourself. In front of you will be a display designed to show you basically the necessities, what speed you're going, what charge level you're at, and of course any warning lights, but those are built around the screen, not into it. If you're looking for the steering wheel option, you'll find just what you need for cruise control. Of course, that is there as standard, but you'll also have manual controls for things like your climate. There is no auto mode. It's simply set a temperature based on a dial that some of us may have never seen before, but trust me, plenty still have. And it also comes with a distinct lack of a center console. If you want, you can purchase more additional storage within that center unit and an additional armrest, but these things are built in as individual pieces. But just know that there are over 200 accessories being released as soon as this car is available to order, and more are on the way. Trust me, there is going to be no lack of options. And some of the most important options are going to be the ones that comprehensively change the function of this vehicle. That's going to be the SUV kit, the Fastback kit, or the open air kit, which adds 3 seats in the rear and of course a roll cage to make sure everyone is safe. Airbags are included in that roll cage, so there's where the extra safety comes in. And it also adds different top options. So the SUV top is much more squared, Fastback is similar but a little bit more stylish, and then open air is no top at all. When it comes to pricing, the SUV kit, the square version, comes in at $5,000 and the Fastback kit will come in at $7,000. Those can be either ordered when you purchase the vehicle so that they arrive that way, or flat pack shipped to you and you can assemble it yourself. But what won't come with either of those packages is additional set of doors. This will always remain a 2-door vehicle. So how do you get in the rear? Well, the answer to that is a very clever sliding mechanism and a design that knows you're a little bit limited on space. When you fold the passenger seat forward and slide it, it goes completely under the dashboard. So you have a rather large opening. Getting into the rear is not as difficult as it may have seemed. For myself, I had no issue getting in there. And once in the back, I had tons of room, not just vertical space, but also leg room, because part of this kit doesn't just include the top and the roll bar and the seats, but also a change in the floor. Part of the bed is removed and replaced with a different floor design that gives you more leg room and more foot room more than anything else that just didn't need to be there in the pickup truck. And if you are upgrading to any layout that includes the rear seats, I would probably recommend that you get the upgraded center console, because at that point you'll get rear ventilation as well as some rear power. In this case, there were slots where the power looked like it was supposed to go, but these are still early prototypes, at least some of the ones they're showing us. But if you like an open bed and are curious where to put the rest of your stuff, considering there isn't a whole lot of room in the cab, look no further than the front, which will have 7 cubic feet of storage capacity. But one thing it's missing is going to be the ability to get any power from the front. On to accessories, where there is almost no limit to what you can or can't change within the vehicle. The panels that you find on the dashboard are all pretty easily interchangeable. And if you want them all to match, great. And if you don't, no problem. If you want decal kits for around the truck, those are there. If you want to stick with the standard 17-inch steel wheels that come with it, but you want to add a little more pop, they'll sell you a sticker pack. And of course, the wraps are not just limited to basic colors. You can design almost any wrap you want through Slate, and they'll send it to you. Of course, I don't know quite how far that'll go, but I imagine people are really going to find out what they can and can't get Slate to print for them. And while a lot of those are just cosmetic, there are of course functional things you can add. You can upgrade the front or rear bumper, and the front bumper will give you room for fog lights. The rear bumper will let you add on an accessory tire hitch, because just so you know, there is no standard spare tire that comes with the vehicle, nor is there an inflator kit, at least not at the moment. I would expect that's one of those accessories we'll find either right away or very, very soon. But if you want to change the look of your headlights or taillights the simple way, there are essentially plastic cutouts that you can add to them to give them fun or interesting shapes. And a lot of these designs are things that you can 3D print yourself, so the world's your oyster. But if you're trying to make the most out of this small packaging, look no further than the racks you can get either for the truck, the SUV, or the Fastback. This will include both roof racks and, for the truck, individual tower bars, so you can put just about anything you want up there. And trust me, there are some pretty cool accessories that are either going to be immediately available or there in the near future. One I noticed that you'll find available for Rivians, and that of course is a much higher price point, and I have to admit, has definitely caught my eye. Because the focus here is keeping things somewhat simple, you won't be able to add features like adaptive cruise control or autonomous driving. That just isn't in the cards here. You also can't add additional doors, because structurally that's one that doesn't pen out anywhere. It would have to be the next version of a blank slate. Call it a blank slate plus or what have you. They also won't have accessories for everything. For example, all the seats right now are manual, so I don't think powered is something they're working on at the moment, and you also can't get heated or ventilated seats. If you wanted to get a seat cover, that's possible, but none of those seat covers are heated at the moment. Again, maybe another one that Slate is looking into. Where pickup trucks are not generally known for being the most luxurious ride, this handled some of the bumps in the roads better than you'll find in a lot of other EVs, especially early EVs that have, let's say, a little bit tighter sprung suspension layout that of course is trying to manage the weight from those batteries. Slate seems to have it tuned in pretty well. And when it comes to things like regenerative braking, there is only one setting for the Slate, everything is not infinitely customizable, just customizable to a point. So hopefully that's one that works for you. They said it's going to be fairly aggressive regen braking, and it's not only blended braking, but will apply the brakes when you lift off as well. So it is trying to go for more of an auto mode that you'll find in some other vehicles, but we'll have to wait until we get a chance to drive it and give you some more feedback and our own opinion. Pre-orders are open now for $300 total, minus that $50 if you already have a reservation, and deliveries are starting in Q4 of 2026. Probably not en masse, but we should see some out before the end of the year. And again, if you want to hear more about Slate or our take on it, let us know down in the comments, and we'll probably touch on it on our next episode of the Auto Buyer's Guide podcast. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, I'll see you down the road.